Empires rise and fall while rivers and mountains continue. That's a quote, I think, from Cold Mountain. I have no idea, but it stuck with me for a while because it helps me stay grounded. And to me, what it means to stay grounded is to remember who I am, who we are. Remember what is permanent, and remember that all this is impermanent. It's constantly changing, everything we experience. But that presence within the one who is experiencing it, that never changes. And it's always experiencing now. Everything else changes. It just all comes to you. So it's important to remember who you are. Throughout the day, I just have these flashes, and it's happened more and more as I'm on this journey of just, it's not really flashes, it's just a remembrance. It's like a stepping back from my mind and remembering that I am not my mind. My thoughts are just images that I've created. And it is through those images that I see the world. Once you understand that, it kind of flips everything, because it's like, oh, I only see the world as I perceive it. But that I am presence inside of me is a chooser. It has choice always. That is the thing that it does. It observes and it chooses. I guess it's not exactly the truth. It's through that my mind and my heart are able to choose. But the more I step back from my mind and just be in the moment and understand that not only am I permanent, but everything I am seeing is impermanent. It's all changing. And it's what my attention goes to that I give existence. So I could choose to walk by a dog and, like, one of those little scruffy rat dogs. Like two different types of people I could be when I walk by that dog. I could see it as a cuddly thing and imagine it sitting on my lap by a warm fireplace. Or I could see it as an ankle biter, and I could envision punting it into the stratosphere. And those two people just perceive life very differently because of the way their experiences have formed their beliefs. One person believes that dog is a rat who deserves to be punted. The other thinks it's a cute fluffy thing that deserves to be cuddled. But you can change that perception. You always can. You can choose to see things from another light. And that was the big change in me, is when I chose to see all my mistakes as lessons. Was the very first, like, huge belief change I had that really helped me a lot. All your mistakes are not mistakes, they're lessons. You can choose to take away something from that, choose to learn from that, instead of just beating yourself up for a mistake. And now, a belief I'm trying to rewrite is my belief about failure. I have viewed a lot of my life as a string of failures or falling short, not being good enough. And now I'm trying to rewrite that as those are successes. That was just figuring out what doesn't work for me. That's absolutely a success. Every experience I bump into and learn that it doesn't work for me, I get closer and closer to what I truly want. And what I truly want is to rest in that I am presence. Always. To be grounded in the now, in the permanent, because there only is now. A little caveat to that, what I want thing is like, okay, yeah, obviously I want to be totally present and do everything with total knowledge of who I am, but that's a journey, right? So what do I want in this life? And I've come to the conclusion that it really doesn't matter as much as I originally thought. And not that it doesn't matter, it's just like either choice is equally valid, and it's not like if I choose to go travel the world right now or grow my business to 100K a month, both of those are equally valid, and I won't know for sure which one I want more than the other until I experience it. So I've spent a lot of time, or at least growing up, to a certain extent beating myself up for not being able to grow where I'm planted, for not sticking to one thing for long enough. And it's just, I'm realizing, I'm coming to terms with that's just not who I am. I'm someone who wants to experience. I'm curious about this world, I'm very curious. I want to see what life is like on the other side of every experience. And coming to terms with that is a wonderful feeling, because it's like, okay, well, shit. I got 80 years left on this life, assuming I live past 100. I might choose to. Assuming, I've got 80 years of my life left to live. I could do all sorts of stuff. Now, of course, there's a certain point, I'm sure, where I'll reach the end of okay, well, to a certain extent, I'm already at that point where it's like, there is no better than here. Like, whether I'm traveling in Puerto Rico, around the world, that won't necessarily be better than here. It will just be a different experience. But all that exists is now. So I must engage with it as much as I can. Yeah, that's really all I wanted to talk about today. That's all that came to mind. Look at this dope river I get to live by. See, if you just choose to see everything in a positive light, like I could have come out here today and viewed the day as cold, windy, And it is. But it's like, no. It's stark and beautiful. And I get to be by this cool stream, living my amazing life in this beautiful grass. I was sitting here watching a spider crawl around. And it was the most fascinating thing. So the more I get to live in the now, the better life gets. That's really all it is. Because that's all that exists. So why not engage with existence? Engage with creation. And live your life as you're meant to. Alright, you are me and we are infinite. Peace!